All right, all right, all right. Okay, it tells me to share my referral link. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I'm gonna take that off there. I don't want to do all that. Do I have to? No. Shit. Okay. Now, what's up? What's up with the what's up? Okay. What's going on? This your girl. This is the queen, the most loved, the most precious, the most gifted, the most blessed. Okay. Uh, Hated by some, respected by all. Queen Sheba. Okay. I'm here tonight because recently there was a documentary released on um Hulu. Now, if anybody knows anything about this sector, we are the nature boy sector. A lot of people, don't want to be a part of it or didn't want to be a part of it. Never really was a part of it because it never really was a part of the, storyline or whatever. Because, if you got involved in this situation, it was very, very emotional to watch. It was very hard because, like, everybody has that vulnerable part in them. Everybody has that part of them before they, you know, became aware of their highest self. Before they became aware, period. Everybody has, that part of them that is not refined, is not all the way finished growing. And many of us saw ourselves and many of the people on that um journey. What we are going to talk about tonight is the things that documentary did not mention. Many things that documentary did not mention and should have mentioned, especially when there are people that should be mentioned posthumously, people that believed in this man, believed in his ability, his connection to the divine, and quit taking their Western drugs or whatever, their pharmaceuticals that they had been in for many years, and went over there and had a good 4 to 6 weeks, and then they were gone because their bodies were addicted, not addicted, their bodies were, they were being treated by a doctor for certain said conditions. In this particular part, I would like to talk about Mama Dia. Mama Dia was I believe, 50-some-year-old woman. She was very beautiful. She had a very beautiful soul. She was very giving. She was like a mother to everyone there when she arrived. Um, when she went there, she was a professional. I believe she worked for her local state system for many years. She went to Carbonation. And I really want to mention this because, this is posthumously, and that documentary did not mention her. And I really need to mention Mama Dia. Mama Dia went there, okay? Mama Dia went there. She cashed in all of her IRAs, her 401ks, her everything, her life insurance, her pension, everything she had to her name. And she went there and she put all of her trust in this man that her living closer to the equator and eating clean. Now, mind you, eating clean to them was no meat, but a 5 pound bag of sugar in a cake. You know what I mean? Like, no one knew what clean eating was there. Okay? No one. No one. They had no one there, no holistic doctor, no holistic specialist, no one there that really knew. What they had was a man who was a master manipulator, and he knew exactly what to do and exactly what to say to make everyone do and say what he wanted. Everyone that came to melanation, later carbonation, they came with their entire life savings, every dollar that they had to their name. They had to come and put it in the what they called the pot. And they had to give it all up, and they had to share their clothes, even their underwear. They had to share everything. Okay. First and foremost, let's start. Okay. I know some people are going to watch this later, so I just want to go over everything. First and foremost, I would like to mention again, posthumously, Mama Dia, may God rest her soul. She went there. She stopped taking her cardiac meds that she was on for many years. She believed that this man, Eligio Bishop, had the, recipe for her to make it, without the meds. For a while, she did well. She was there. You could see her pictured. She was having fun and jumping in on waterfalls. They were in a very beautiful place. Palenque, Mexico is beautiful. They were jumping on, after they, commandeered an Airbnb. They were there, it was very beautiful. So everyone was out in their tents. And one day they went out after Mama Dia had been there for maybe, I say, 6 weeks. She wasn't there very long, but they went out in her tent and she had transitioned. At that time, all of her belongings, like when they made the video that Mama Dia had transitioned, at that time, they had her belongings on. Her daughter said that once they repatriated her human remains back to the States, that her mother had nothing. None of her clothing, none of her jewelry, none of her nothing. Just her mother naked. Okay. Now, I remember when that had happened. Um, Nature Boy and some of the people, they had, taken her remains and driven her to the local mortuary. And the local mortuary notified her family, and they went from there. Then, um, after that, no one really talked about her. But for the viewers, people that had been watching for a while, that was very jarring for us because this woman had getting she spoke about it, because he would have everyone do a testimonial. So this woman had sat down and talked about how he would call America Babylon, and she talked about how she left Babylon, how she had given up her pension and her money, her IRAs and her 401ks, and cashed it all in and gave it to this man, and that was that. And she was free, and she was going to be, okay and healthy, because now she was living close to the equator like people of color are supposed to. I want you to keep in mind, I'm using people of color because Mama Dia was a Hispanic woman. Okay. So he said that people of color are supposed to live close to the equator. That was his entire gimmick for getting everyone to leave the states, to leave wherever they were, and to follow him into the wilderness. Okay. So she did so, just like everyone else. But she is the only, I'm going to mention her because the documentary failed to mention her. And she deserves to be mentioned because Mama Dia, she deserves to be mentioned. Okay? She was a whole woman. She lived and she put her trust in Eligio Bishop. She trusted that living this clean diet where you only eat mango and fruits filled with sugars and sweets filled with sugars and waters and just a junk diet. None of her medications that she'd been on for years, cardiac medications. I'm talking about propranolol, things like that, things that you cannot go without. And she did well for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And Mama Dia was deceased. Okay. Now, let's talk about the next thing. Everybody that went there to stay with Eligio, he said that they had to receive them into him. All right. So they had to drink his semen. They had to, he called it his milk. Okay. So they had to drink his milk in order to be on the same frequency with him. They had to drink his milk. This was not something that everyone knew. But if you watch from the beginning, myself and a few others, we knew that they all had drank his semen. And he said, in order to be on my frequency, in order to be around me, because my energy is so large, you have to drink of me in order to be on the same frequency as me. And this includes children and babies. Okay. I need you all to understand how messed up this was. So when we were watching it, it was like, what the hell? This is how we became the carbonation sector. We were the group of people that were like, hell no. The person who started the carbonation sector, his name was Uncle Black. Black is now living in Scandinavia, doing his own business, doing his own thing, you know. But Black was the first. We must also pay homage to young Pharaoh, even though whatever went on with him, we have to pay homage to him. YP definitely spread awareness that not only had Nature Boy done these disgusting things, had people drinking his semen, sleeping with men, making women sleep like he had them hoeing in a motel. YP called it all out. Okay? But YP made a grievous mistake of going into a space that he was not, you know, that's a whole nother story. Peace, sis. I'm talking about YP now. You can share your thoughts on YP right now too, as far as what's going on with him right now. I'm gonna say this. YP was the one who stepped to Nature Boy as far as the lesions on his body. the lesions on his lips and made sure that everyone knew that he was either infected with HIV or his body was reacting. His white blood cells were reacting to coming in contact with HIV. I'm not going to put anybody out. I am just saying that right there. I'm going to leave that there. Sis, you can add what you want to add as far as um young Pharaoh. All I'll say is he stepped to Nature Boy every chance he got and busted his ass as far as knowledge went, as far as anything went. When it began, oh, the woman was God, okay? When Melanation started, the woman was God. Anything for the woman. The woman was this, the woman was that. By the time Carbonation started, it was fuck that bitch. Okay? Exactly. Yes. He knew him prior. They were Nature Boy had went to meet young Pharaoh prior to the Carbonation situation. And they had sat down and they were going back and forth and they were just exchanging information back and forth. Before whatever went on with YP, I would say, certain substances are not for everyone. And back then, y- young Pharaoh was a very sharp young man. Make no mistake, do your homework. That was a very sharp young man. And he made sure that he let Nature Boy know, yes, some of what you saying is true, but all of this other shit is bullshit. And if you're going to take people down that road, tell them the truth. And that's all he was trying to say. Sis, we're going on to the next part. Everyone was sodomized. Everyone that came to the group, this is after Carbonation disassembled, because you have to understand there was a grown ass man named Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising witnessed Nature Boy trying to stick his hand in his woman's private area. Once Phoenix saw this, Phoenix got physical. Phoenix was also the one who financially, him and another young man, they financially made it possible for them to be living in Costa Rica. So once Phoenix left, after he saw this man trying to, do something with his woman, he got away. So after Phoenix was gone, after several of the people, a girl named Yaya, she was the first girl there. She was the black woman is God. Okay, she was the first woman. All right, it was Yaya. After Yaya, it was another girl, and he got her pregnant, and then she went over Pocahontas, and she went over to the Yada guy. Okay, I want you guys to remember that name, Yada Awakening, I believe. And Olmec was there at that time too. Olmec would have died for Eligio. Velvet came from Olmec. So if you were to look at their earlier videos, because they would always do like the couples doing this and doing that. Olmec was with Velvet. Okay. And Velvet was, she wasn't husky. She was just a big bone New Orleans girl. Booty and everything. Booty and legs, and she was a New Orleans girl. Oh man. Look at my fam in here. Cuzzo! What up, Cuzzo? Peace to the God. Okay. Got the fam in here, okay? I got a little bit of everything in my family, and I gotta respect all of it because it's all beautiful. It's all enlightening. It's all enlightening, and it all came from the same place, and it will all end in the same place. You understand? Some people do, some people don't. I do. You understand? I do. What's the verdict? Bro, I key God, I would say the verdict is this. Unfortunately, everybody that went over there got popped by bro. Everybody that came after the original group got screwed in their booty by him. It was a part of the, I guess, initiation ritual. You had to get something in your booty. I'm here to add to definitely show. Thank you, 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 thank you. So much to the God, to the Cuzzo. Thank you. I appreciate you. Um, I think that I mean, we go in order. Number one, I think it was wrong to not honor Mama Dia posthumously because she listened to that man and she went over there and she lost her life. Secondly, I think it was wrong to not mention that dude said that you're not on his frequency if you don't drink, if you don't receive of him. Just like when they had the I'm not gonna say nothing wrong about trans. I do know some trans that I love that are lovely, but they had a trans there and he made like, he tried to, he didn't give her the credence that he should have given her, like, this is who this person is and this is what it is. No, he came in with like, this is my new wife, and then had this real weird orgy thing with everybody, and everybody had to get involved. It was like, you know how it is, like if you do something bad, like if somebody was to stab somebody. You remember the movie Jimmy Bones, and they made everybody stab them so everybody could have something to do with it. It was like that when it came down to the trans that had came there. And I don't think she was there for more than one day. And I don't care if that's a man or woman or whatever. Like, yo, you brought that person in, like you brought that you brought you like you bring this child of God in, like they're going to be respected and treated as a woman, and then you bring them in like a freak of nature, and then you have everybody sleep with them and make it seem like a freak of nature show. And then after that, oh, that person's gone, but you got this footage hanging over people's head, and then it's premiering on a porn site. Let's be clear. The God said, what's the verdict? The verdict is everybody need to look on XII or XII or something like that. You'll see the porn, okay? Dude not only did this shit, he also had it on there. You know what I'm saying? He also had, footage. You know what I'm saying? He had footage. Now, next is the first person that ever brought this shit to my attention was Uncle Black. Okay. I just so happened to be watching some other shit one day, and I see Black. Usually, Black will be talking about, stuff to do with Bud. If anybody don't know Black, back in the day, Black played a big part in, um, let's say, capturing the footage of the East Coast West Coast beef. All of those pictures that you see of Birdman and Lil Wayne and Biggie and Suge and all of that shit, that was Black. It's just you don't know it was him because back then he had real long, thick locks. I can't remember the name of his damn I can't remember the name of his he had a magazine. They sold it in this place called Rasputin's on the UC Berkeley campus. Okay, and I had a girlfriend that used to send it to me. However, Eligio wanted to transform that. Yeah, he wanted to he wanted to transform for some old nasty ass slithery serpent. Y'all, I just gotta let y'all know the guard is unhinged, bro. He gonna say what it is. And he did want him for himself. And if he wanted him for himself, okay, cool. That's what you want to do. Why you make all them other people be with him if they wasn't cool with it? You know what I'm saying? Like some of them people look like dead in headlights when they came out of that room, bro. Like literally, some of them dudes was just standing there with their eyes wide open, like like they had just now ruined their life or something, yo. Like they was looking like, what did I do? Another thing, we gotta talk about the fact that Velvet's father, Pop Marquez, him and his wife, Tina, a Samoan woman, went over there to get his daughter. He went over there. He tried to get to the cops, but it was a little broke town. Eligio was getting hella fucking donations. So he was giving money to them people. Them people was about ready to kill Pop Marquez and his wife. You know what I'm saying? Baby girl, the granddaughter, was so damn sick with some kind of mm, bronchio, I say lung, I would say, esophageal. It was deep. So it was like a deep cough. You know what I'm saying? It was so deep to the point where Pop Marquez first time holding his grandbaby, he laid her on his chest. Man, Lord have mercy on his soul. He laid her on his chest and he rubbed her. And she just laid on him. And he just rubbed her. And he just was talking to her. I don't know what he was saying, but he was just rubbing on the baby. And next thing you know, Nature Boy and his crew started acting crazy and shit. And Pop Marquez's wife thought it was a good idea to have it on film. And so they videoed them trying to get help to get the baby to the doctor. So they take the baby to some little two-bit doctor. Let me see. He just finished administering a download. That's why they were looking spooked. He just finished giving them his jizz. Not now. Oh no. Yo, they all looked very like shook. It was like he was like, "This my new wife," and you see the lady sitting there, and then he was like, we all going to go in here and something, something, something. And then when it was over, like some days later, that's what, like, if they had to whoop your ass, let's say he wanted to beat you up, right? Everybody would surround you like they was going to beat your ass, but they wasn't. They was just making it so nobody couldn't see Nature Boy beating the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? So this is how he kept uh people quiet. He would do that crazy shit. When I saw that, man, I couldn't believe it. It was so sad to see him, but happy. It makes sense. Yo, when I saw that man in Mexico, I just knew she was going to say, fuck that, I'm going with my pops. I just knew it. And I mean, it was so sad she ain't go that time. But when she did go, it was like Allah made that his mission in life to get his baby home. And I promised as soon as he got her home, soon as he got her home, n- uh, she was doing her, she was spinning, messing with this one and that one. And she messed with this one dude. She got pregnant. She said she was going to get rid of it. Pop Marquez said, hell no. By the time the baby was born, Pop Marquez had returned to the essence, man. Pop Marquez had transitioned. He left here. I think his mission from the Almighty Creator was to bring his baby home. And he did that. And after he did that, man, he returned. You know what I'm saying? And it was so sad because, man, yo, exactly. Yo, walk straight up to that doctor's office like, where my daughter at? Let me see my granddaughter. He ain't want to hear nothing. He knew it was numbers. He knew they could do whatever, but he ain't give no fuck. That man came for his child, man. That's a true daddy. That's a true daddy. May Allah bless us all to be such parents. May the Most High bless us all to be such parents that we would be willing to stand up in front of a cult full of loonies. You understand? For our babies. And that man went up there, and I mean, it was nuck if you buck. They ain't want to see Pop Marquez. They had to go in huddles and be on that punk ass shit. Cause one by one, that older man with a rock thing motherfucking ass. Yo, his wife looked like she had Samoan. She looked like she would have fucking man. I think them two by themselves would have did some damage. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. And his wife was hot. His wife was ready to rock. You hear me? Yo, Pop Marquez's wife was ready to rock with him. Because she couldn't believe what they was doing. Because she saw how it hurt her husband. Let me tell you, as a wife of a man that has children that are, other than mine, okay? You need to understand if it hurt him, it hurt you. If it hurt him, it hurt you. And you gonna rock. And Shorty, she was ready to rock. She was ready to rock. She wasn't playing. Okay? He came over there to get his baby. The first time he was unsuccessful. They did all this crazy ass shit. They made yo had them at this little like crazy looking motel selling pussy. He had them at this place like literally being prostitutes. All right? All of them. Every last one of them. The punk never did any of that back in the day before Carbonation. He was out here yanking Franks for a piece of change, i.e. Tyrese. Hey, yo! Hey, Cuzzo, tell him what they... Cuzzo, tell him. Tell him. Okay? Make me drop this damn... Look, if you need me to drop the link, I drop it. Okay? Like, yeah. Back for Carbonation, he was. He was in Atlanta doing something strange for some change. He had a barbershop and everything before he left. He had got himself a little camper. He had a baby mama. He had children and everything. He gave it all up to go run away and be a damn weirdo. Because he couldn't do the shit he wanted to do here in America. He had to go overseas to go do that creepo shit. And when he tried to play bent with the baby mama about her child, his name was Cairo. His name is Cairo. I'm not going to say was. But he was playing bent about, it was something about, yeah, I will, sleep with my woman. No, he said, I'll let my son touch my manhood, so he can know he's a man. When his mother saw that, it alarmed her. At the time, she was with an Israelite guy named Tazariak. And Tazariak was with his mother. They were married. And he went all the way over there to Mexico, wherever they were at that time. I'm talking about to the door, and got that little boy. And that's when you saw the cowardice in Nature Boy. Because if somebody that's not you ain't nothing. You just somebody, and you coming to get my baby from me, man, we gonna have to thug it out. You ain't my child father. The fuck, back up. I'm they mama. The fuck, ho. But that nigga punked out. I'm talking about damn near packed the baby bag and gave him right to the dude. And dude took the baby home to his mama. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'd have done that. All right? Let's talk about this right here, which is a total mystery. Zoka's baby. When Zoka went over there, she was supposed to be what's his name? Turbo, something with a T. The one that had went with Jaguar Wright, that crazy ass boy. The one that had the baby with Velvet, that nut. Exactly. Something about some damn touching it there. And that damn Israelite guy went over there and straight got that baby. And he ain't say a damn thing to him. I mean, he packed that baby back up like Mary Poppins and gave him that damn baby. Okay? You come to my house for my baby, nigga, we about to rock. Okay? No, they didn't. They didn't. No. That's what I'm saying. Joy, the one, her real name Taisha. She is the one who was originally with him. This Hulu thing did not do no justice to what really happened. Taisha, aka Joy, was originally with him. Originally, she was the one riding around the damn US with him while he was seeing, different places, because he had given up his business and he wanted to be in nature. If you look back at his old videos, you'll see it. He had a camper, okay? And she was with him for the whole thing. And she had her own babies that, one little girl was with her and one was like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. But she had her own children, okay? But she believed in that man and rocked with him. But when he wanted to go do some weird shit, something told her, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. And she didn't cross that bridge with him. So when he went over and left American soil, she was like, nah, I can't do it. But she let her baby go visit him because at the time he had a woman named Yaya who was allegedly, the black woman was the earth, the black woman was God. This was his teaching at the time when he was carbonation, so she let her baby go. And then watching, there was some very obscene things saying, yeah, I let my son touch my thing because he need to know he a man. Yeah, he said that he would screw his woman while his baby was right there. Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I don't know if he was just saying some really out of the way stuff. As a mother, she was like, hell no. She told her husband took that flight and got that baby from him. The little boy's name is Cairo. Okay. They don't talk about I didn't that's why I was like, is this really a documentary? When I didn't see Mama D, I was like, yeah, yes. Like I was wondering, like, was this real? Because this was not what I saw. Like, okay, Zoka's baby. Zoka had made it to what I call the month. Zoka was big, 8, 9 months, and he called her baby a demon because it wasn't by him. Now, mind you, he would say, "Oh, he would get the girls to come." Use the little red boy to get what's that boy name, sis? I can't remember his name. Type that boy name. The one that ended up with Velvet, the one that was with Jaguar and stuff. What's that boy name? It start with a T. I can't remember it. He ran away and he came back and all that old stuff. I cannot remember his name. But that boy, he ended up being with the girl, Janai, and then he was with Velvet. And then because what they would do is they would use him as the bait. You feel me? Hey, cuz, do one of y'all remember what that boy name is? I can't remember that boy name. It start with a T. I want to say turbo, but it's not. I want to say terrible, but it's not. It's that boy, that light skinned boy, that one that had the baby, the one that thought that he was Nature Boy when Nature Boy was gone, the one that got out of there first. Him, the one that was with Jad for a few days and threw that damn gin on her. Him. Who is that boy? I can't remember his name. I cannot remember his name. Anyway, he had a baby with Zoka. He got Zoka pregnant. He told Zoka every day that her baby was a demon. He told her her baby was this and that and this and that and stressed that girl her entire pregnancy. Her baby was this. Her baby was that. Her baby was a demon. Her baby wasn't, because he was not the father. Okay. Mind you, the little boy gave Zoka to Nature Boy, and then Nature Boy gave a bag. This is how he would do. Instead of calling it what it was, swinging, okay, he would call it something else. And he would say, oh, this is his direct. Oh, this is that person's direct. So instead of husband or wife, the word direct was used. And instead of you being in a monogamous relationship, he was able to snatch your woman anytime he wanted to. So Zoka ended up getting pregnant. The skinny one. Yeah, man, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Anyway, he had, like, I can see his face in my mind. He got Zoka pregnant. Zoka was pregnant for him. Zoka made it all the way to 9 months, and next thing you know, they had staged it because you could tell. And next thing you know, they staged it and they stood up and said, oh, she lost it at the last minute and she's crying. And they saying, oh, she lost it at the last minute. And I'm talking about, there's no talk of a mortuary. There's no talk of a funeral. There's no talk of nothing. All it is, all I know is this: if a woman is past 31, what is it? No, 28 weeks, that is considered a stillborn baby. They said that they buried the baby on the premises of the Airbnb. Later on, the boy said that Nature Boy killed his baby. He never said how. Later on, they said something about eating the baby. Okay? Mind you, this is the father saying these things. Okay? Zoka just had this crazy look in her eye. Okay? I guess you would. I don't know. Because I've never been through such, I've never been through such horrific um maltreatment. Um it was just psychotic. Anyway, next thing you know, this girl who was, I'm talking about, she was big, and I'm talking about, when you so pregnant that you can't close your legs no more. When you so pregnant that that your boobs just, when you so pregnant that she was that kind of pregnant, and it was her first pregnancy. Next thing you know, you could tell they rehearsed it because they was all sitting in a specific place. It was just the girls, it was none of the men, and they was just sitting there talking about how she lost this baby. They never said anything about funeral arrangements. They never said anything about, oh, it was a girl and we just buried her on the premises. Later on, during the criminal process, this man said Nature Boy killed his baby. Nature Boy ate his baby. He said this later on. Okay? But during that time, no, they said nothing. Another thing, nobody said nothing about Serenity or Rambo ever being there. When Serenity first got there, she was a pretty young girl who worked. She also had a very good career. Um, I'm not sure what Rambo did, but her and Rambo had a couple of babies together. One of those births almost killed that girl. This woman looked like she was ready to die. Okay? She got so bony. Okay? She also made a live and said that They left the baby at a hospital in Puerto Rico. They ain't leave that baby in no hospital in Puerto Rico. No. Somebody would have said something. They ain't leave that baby nowhere. They did something to that baby. Like he said, like what's her name said, Nature Boy killed his baby. Okay? Then we got Serenity and Rambo. Remember, she had her first baby. Oh, you gotta have your baby at home. Have your baby at home. So she having her baby at home. She did everything that Eligio said, and she damn near died doing it. She had a preemie baby. The baby was so small, he almost did not thrive. It was so sad to watch because you could see her struggling. You could see that she couldn't do it. You could see she needed help. She needed help. She needed help bad. You think he got her help? No. He made her push and push and push and push. And again, I am not going to disclose anybody's, you know, anybody's anything, but that woman needed special help and he did not provide such for her. He made her push out that underweight baby. She pushed the baby out. God have mercy, he ended up being a strong, beautiful child. Okay? He made it. Okay? I'm glad I said that. Yeah. Um, Serenity made it with that baby. Okay? There was another young man there. His name was Keys. I forgot what his girl's name was. But honey, she was pretty. She had these beautiful eyes. Nature Boy had a thing for her. He was always trying to take her from him, but see, there was a conflict of interest there. Keys had the money. Everybody else that had the money had left, and he had spent everyone else's. Keys had the money. So he could not steal Keys's woman right off the rip. Okay? So he had to bide his time. So after he got into their relationship and broke them up and did all he could to break them up and rawr, okay? He finally got her to go with him. You gonna be with me? Yeah, I'm gonna be with you. Okay. Keys looked at her one more time and said, please don't do it. She looked back at him. She said, I'm not. They loved each other. Love saved them from that demon. You hear me? And they left. They got away. Yeah, they got away. Okay? Keys and his woman, Serenity and Rambo. They ran away to Hawaii and they got away from him. Okay? Now, they're still at the place. They're still in Mexico at this time. Like, I'm not even going to talk about Belize because when they tried to go to Guatemala and tried to play him out and tried to, disrespect Guatemala name, Guatemala and his whole, see, you got some cults that you don't want to play with. You got some cults that's been doing their thing for about 40 and 50 years, and Guatemala is one of them. Okay? And when they tried to go and throw salt on that man, throw dirt on that man's name, because that man said, you and what you stand for does not mesh well with what I stand for. Guatemala has children in their 30s and 40s that never ate meat, that's been with one man. They don't go around like he do have these young girls he calls maidens. I don't get into none of it. That's their thing. They choose that. But They're very much involved in their community. They live it. They grow their food. They give it to the community. They eat only what they grow. Like Guatemani and them, they really live that life. And when the Carbonation people tried to come over there and get with them, they say, we can offer you somewhere to stay. This is when they were deported and they were coming back. They said, we can offer you somewhere to stay for, a week or so. But no, what you stand for, we do not stand for. And so Velvet decided she would make a live and try to throw dirt on them. That's when him and those women that he's with, him and his wives, they got into their emails and they got down and dirty with it, and they came with the receipts, and they put them in their place the way that adults, you understand, the way that adults do. Like, we're not gonna play this emotional back and forth game. I told you that I do not live that half-assed life, and I do not live that half-ass. I don't do this shit half-ass. If you're going to come over here, you're going to come over here, and you're going to be underneath of me. I am going to teach you about manhood because you do not know about it. Okay? And he thought he was going to come to that man place and play that game, and that man wasn't with it. And that man, like I said, offered them a place to stay for a week, and after that week was over, that was that. And Velvet tried to get online and throw dirt on their name, and they had to, and they had to set the record straight. For that, I am very, 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 very okay. Very, 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 very. I was very impressed because their damn paper trail and the way their emails and their paper trail was, baby, it was not nothing to play with. Next, let's talk about the young man named Loyal. There was a lot of goddamn fires that went on after the fact. People that left that place, when they left, something was wrong with them. Let's talk about Loyal, young, brown skinned young man. He was from Canada. He looked like he could have been hmm not Pakistani exactly. He could have been like a Guyanese, a mix of a mix of a Sudanese, and you know, he was a mix. He was a beautiful brown skinned young man with brown eyes. He was beautiful, young man. He leaves that place. He ends up dead in a building in Canada. Okay, he's not the only one. We've already talked about two deaths already. Okay, Mama Dia went over there, didn't take her medicine because Eligio said so. She was over there. The 6th week, she ended up dead. Second, Zoka's baby. Okay, they said something about they left her in a hospital in Puerto Rico. Bullshit. They said they buried her in the backyard, then they said that they ate her. Bullshit, okay? Flag on the play, okay? That's why they gave his ass life. Next, it was this Spanish girl that went over there. Spanish girl lived in Florida. She stayed over there with them for a few months, not very long, but she went home and she murdered her mother, okay? She went home and she stabbed her mother up and killed her mother. Okay? We have to talk about that. Okay? Secondly, okay, we have to talk about a lot of things that went on that people are not talking about. When Velvet left that place, she wouldn't say anything to anybody until she was paid for that shit. Okay? As my sister said, hurt people hurt people. But like I said, okay, she did a lot of nasty things to people. Her father was deceased, and her big sister went down to help her have that second baby. She stole the cowbell that her sister brought from her dad's uh second line or funeral, as you would call it. She stole it, called security on her sister, and made her sister look like she was doing wrong just because she wanted to keep the cowbell. He covered up that shit. Covered up. Exactly. That's what I'm. Yo, cuz that's what I'm saying. Okay? So she did that. She stole from her sister. That's why she didn't go to her dad's interment or anything. It was because she was having that light skinned boy baby. I can't remember his damn. I keep saying I keep want to say Turbo, but it's not Turbo. I don't. Yeah, I just now was at Super Mario Brothers movies the other day with my baby. I'm sorry, you know. So exactly. The shit was covered up. That fucking baby, that shit that happened with that baby, that shit wasn't right, bro. Ain't no way nobody gonna leave no damn 9 month old. That's not a miscarriage. That's a stillborn. That's someone with a soul that needs to be prayed for. That's not nothing you just incinerate and just go on about your business. That's serious business. And there were three different stories that came from that situation. The boy said Nature Boy killed this baby. The boy said no. The mother said that they buried the baby on the premises of the Airbnb. And then the boy said that they ate the baby. Okay? I don't know which one is true, but all three of them are disgusting. That was not mentioned in the damn documentary. Another thing that was not mentioned in the documentary is people who were spreading awareness about this man for years. Years. People who was talking about, and listen, we are the Nature Boy sector. We didn't just talk about him, we talked to him. Okay? When his ass was in Nicaragua and cops and shit was called on him, and they fucking ran down on him, and they pulled fucking AKs and high velocity rifles on him, the children, and every damn body else. I got online and went crazy and was like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all gonna fucking get everybody killed. Y'all gonna get the kids killed. His ass got on uh DM call and called me. Thank you so much, Queen. You're an angel. You saved you know, we need so much more light. I said, don't ever come back to the US with the shit that you're doing. What you're doing ain't right. It's gonna get somebody hurt. Already done got people hurt. The only reason I said what I said is because it was a fucking gun aimed at a baby's head. That's the only reason I got upset. I said it ain't. I said, but you know, it is what it is. If the mother don't have no problem with it, what can I say? But you better know, if anything go on, the blood on your hands. I know, Queen. I know, Queen. And he got off the phone. That was that. Like I said, we was the Nature Boy sector. So we knew every damn thing going on. We gotta pay homage to the people that was there that wasn't mentioned, people that got done wrong. It was a woman from Surrey, and her name was Rob. This was a young, gorgeous, chocolate skin girl. I mean, the way she walked, The way she talked was so queenly. That's another one that he lured over with that light skinned boy. She was so queenly. Next thing you know, she supposed to be his wife. Velvet get jealous, and then they start treating her bad, and then they start breaking her down mentally. Breaking her down mentally. Breaking her down mentally. Cut all her goddamn hair off. And then you hear Velvet say, it was another divine reason that everybody cut their hair. Everybody had lice. So everybody had to cut their hair. Solar. God damn it. Solar. That bastard. Yes, that bastard. Yes, Solar. That's his name. I don't like him because he was the bait. So he would be the one online, and he would be the, because everybody would think, he, that nature boy is with Velvet. So, I don't want to go and mess with the queen, you know, but Solar is kind of high. I go mess with him, and he would use Solar to bait those girls over. And when the girls got there, Solar would say, "Oh, you can have them." And next thing you know, they was with him, and then he would devalue them. See, this is what narcissists do. Malignant narcissists. What they do at first is they love bomb you. So at first it was, Velvet, you this, you that, and you this and you that. Look at the way Rod does this. Look at the way Rod does that. You love bomb the person. Okay? So he love bombed the hell out of her and told her how pretty she was and how everything she was. And then when he was done with that, little by little, he would start sneaking in. Oh, you need to do this and you need to do that. And then after that, it was totally fuck you. You ain't shit. You need to go back with your other man. And then Velvet would be happy when he would mistreat the other women. Okay? Let's be real about that. Fuck what that goddamn uh 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 documentary talking about. She was happy when he was nasty to those other girls because he was kind to her when he was mean to them other girls. And that's just what it was, okay? You can look on that XII shit. When Sheba was pregnant with her baby, and I'm talking about a whole live baby in her stomach. He was making porn videos with her, screwing her and Velvet at the same damn time. And their men couldn't say nothing about it. That's just what it was. It was a very disgusting situation. When I forgot who it was that made it uh public to us and let us know, like, y'all know this porn is online. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of nasty shit, y'all. That damn documentary was a lot of fluff. Okay, let's talk about Khadijah Curry. She came over there. Okay, pretty little white girl, real thin. She live in Puerto Rico now, I believe. But she came over there. She had money. Oh, honey. So he wanted the this and that and this and that and this and that. Her ass got the hell away from there. Thank God. Okay. Curry's still online. What up with it, Curry? Um, Khadijah. I'm sorry. I called the Curry like once maybe, but I always called the Khadijah. What up with it, Khadijah? But she was job cool. But we gonna have to call out the people that really, 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 really knew what the hell was going on, and it was not the T. The T was the one who delivered things to the DA, to the courts, so they knew. Okay? There were people that were around that not only knew about it, but they fucking talked about it all the time, okay? And we're not gonna act like the fuck they didn't. My homegirl, Danny Girl, used to make videos about them people, okay? My homegirl, Danny Girl, shout out to Danny, okay? She used to make videos. It was a lot of people trying to spread awareness, okay? But nobody gave a damn. The first person, the first person up is Uncle Black. He the first person that said something about this shit. Okay? Young Pharaoh. Okay? Crystal Hill. Okay? Fundi Fee. Okay? Do not forget my homie Latanya Jones. Okay? Latanya spoke on that shit. And she also told us in the beginning what? That his ass was going to jail. Shout out to Latanya because she ain't never lied. Okay? Um, melanated, melanated high priestess. Okay, world news. Okay, gotta give credit where it's due. These people they did spread awareness about this man, and nobody gave a damn. Lurker did too. Okay, and you just gotta call a spade a spade. Jazzy, she's another one. She said what it was. You understand? Major shout out to Danny Girl, because you know that's our sister. Okay? That's our sister. Salam alaikum to our good sister. You understand? May Allah continue to keep blessing our sister. You understand? May Allah keep continuing to bless Latanya. Latanya used to go at it with him, used to go at it with him. You understand? Okay? It was people that used to go at it. Fonzie used to go at it with him. You understand? It was people that really was a get jazzy. People used to go at it. You understand? And only the people that came and gave stuff to the DA is the only people that they said something about. But this was going on for, like, if you gonna really call it, then you should have been watching everything. You understand? Because if you look at Danny Page right now, you will see a lot of moments that you ain't gonna see nowhere else. I promise you. Danny got stuff on her page that you're not going to see nowhere else. When I first looked at her page, this was what? Long time ago, okay? I say I really looked at her videos, far as her Nature Boy videos. I looked at them at about, what, 2021, I don't know. But yo, I was like, oh shit. I had no idea that Danny Girl was really keeping, you know what I'm saying? That Danny Girl, I'm sorry, another person that used to, I can't leave him out. Vic Damone. I'm sorry, Vic. I'm sorry, Vic. Vic is another one, okay? And Vic actually tried to give him grace. Vic said that he was the way he was because he did not have a family, because he grew up in the custody of the state. Okay? But that's just me being fair to everybody who spoke on the situation. But to be 100, Okay, when I really looked on Danny page, that's where I saw them surround that one girl and beat the shit out of her. And they was like at some park or some shit, and they just whooped her. Then I looked at Danny Page one day. That's when I saw them on the beach. Nature Boy like, yeah, 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 fight. Like he ain't got nothing else to do but make these two girls fight. Make Malia, make the two New Orleanians fight. Okay? And when Velvet couldn't beat that girl, she bit that fucking girl boob off damn near. Okay? These girls were fighting, the part of the beach where it ain't nothing but rocks. I was crying because I was scared somebody was going to hit their head and just be gone. And he's sitting up there like a creepy flick the phone. I don't know how to flick the phone. What you talking about, cuz? I don't know. And like the shit she was saying, he like, yeah. It's about to be a fight. Yeah, it's about to go down. Like, 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 this nigga was like, let's get ready to rumble. He was that dude. Next thing you know, they ready to fight. Next thing you know, they fighting on top of bricks. People leaking. People got towels. People bleeding. And he ain't give a damn. It was like whoever beat get to be with me. Fight to the death. I don't give a damn. One of them you got a baby by. The other one ended up so damn sick. Malia ended up in infectious diseases. I am a LPN. When we go into infectious diseases, we already know. Flick the phone. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I talk about that bad shit. Vic still be on here making WWF footage. I think he a part of the beef sector now. You know a lot of people in the beef sector now. I don't really know. I think he is though. Hold up, I had to get my fire lit. Now, I think Vic is a part of that Z has called him lick the bone. Hey yo. ZX another person that tried to talk to Nature Boy one time. Matter of fact, that's how he came into our sector. He tried to talk to what's the name? He was cool with Fundi Fee, and then shit went left, and then he was just thugging and bugging, and I mean he just been doing his thing ever since. Lick the bone. God have mercy. You don't forget nothing. 'Cause, yo, fucking everybody just had a fucked up nickname at that time, yo. Motherfuckers was calling my girl, calling, talking about my homie Bonnet. Motherfuckers was out of hand at that time. That Hulu documentary was some softball tread lightly ass. Yo, cuz I swear I was like, what is this fluff? I thought I was watching like I ain't even watched the whole thing. I thought I was watching a preview. I was waiting for the real shit. Cause all I know is that nigga told Mama Dear to stop taking her medicine. She was gonna be all right if she was just, whatever, eating clean and jumping in goddamn jumping in the waterfalls And next thing you know, that lady was gone, man. That lady was gone, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, he was. He was like, I don't need no help for you. Yeah, he was telling Nature Boy he would help him buy land. He was telling Nature Boy he wanted to help him do this and that. And he was like, what the you want to help me do that for? If you wanted to do that, you would have got to me one on one. You gonna wait till you Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. He was like, you would have did that one on one. You wouldn't have did that on here. You gonna get online and try to make me look like Nature Boy was real big about his image. But one person he just could not do nothing with was that goddamn YP. Yo, young Pharaoh, he could not do nothing with him. Young Pharaoh, I see a goddamn a rash on his ass, and young Pharaoh will do a whole 2 hour piece to his iPhone is burning, talking about how that nigga sick. And then he was sick, and then he was, remember, he was sick, real sick, on all kind of antibiotics and everything. He was real sick. He sure was. I remember that. He was like, if you really wanted to help me, you would have got with me in my DM. You go and get on my live and say that, 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 that. I was like, oh shit. Looking hella zesty up in here with the white sweater and matches color. I'm done with you. Cause there you go. You be taking it there, yo. Cause I'll take it there every time. You and Colin. Y'all don't be like, cuz I'm a tread. Nah. Mm-mm. I just now had to listen to him talk about, yeah, I'm going to park my car here every day, and I'm still not speaking to them. hmm And he talked to me for a whole 45 minutes about how he is not knocking the door, how he not going there, but yes, he's going to park his car right there, and ain't nobody going to say nothing to him. And I'm just looking at him. All I wanted was a slice. I was just going to go get a slice. But now I don't even know. I'm scared to walk by Mustang Alley because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I might encounter him around the corner or something like that. Because you know how y'all niggas roll. Y'all don't care. Y'all just say it. That's what it is. This how I feel. I don't care. That's what it is. Take it or leave it. That's what it is. And I'm listening to it. And listen. And you're talking about a person that you don't have no connection with. You already know. Colin was talking about straight up blood. Okay, we will continue to the people that he was some type of way with. Who else was he some type of way with on screen? Oh, I know one time because he would, have the little call where you could get in. And one time Jazzy had got in. And he said, yeah, I hear that you have a lot to say about me. She said, yeah, well, you doing this to women and you're a narcissist and blah, 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 blah. And he said, whose baby is that crime? And she said, that's my baby. He said, you need to tend to your child and stop worrying about me. I was like, this man is unhinged. Unhinged. He did not care who he was beefing with. He did not care what she was saying. He was going to say it. I don't know if it's a New York thing. I don't know if it's I don't know. But these niggas. like my good cousin right here, they gonna say it. They just gonna say it. And he was I ain't know what was it like. Nature Boy at the time could have used some money for real, for real. I mean, I don't know why he was fronting like he ain't need a few dollars. Like he wasn't just now online crying, asking for money, okay? And skipped out on the bill when he tried to force Velvet to have that child in a baby pool. The baby come in breach. She got to go to the hospital. The baby is too far down. They can't do nothing except for reach in and turn the baby. You know what I'm saying? And of course, that gave her many stitches. How about this fool going to still run away from the hospital with her? How about the hospital put it all over Facebook, all over IG, all over everywhere that this fool ran away owing them 2K? And it was some basketball player's wife that paid the money, that paid for, you know, paid the hospital because them people like made him a enemy number one for running out their hospital and stealing from them. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he ain't need the fucking money. Shit. Looking zesty and all. He should have fucking took that goddamn money. He shouldn't have been no goddamn bitch about it. He should have been like, oh, okay, I'll take that from you. And I thank you kindly. And I thank you kindly. Okay. It was another dude that came on there that looked real matter of fact, the first time that I ever saw ZX, me personally, first time I ever saw him online, he had on African clothes. He had on, African Ankara. He had on Ankara fabric. You know what I'm saying? He had on Ankara. And he looked nice. He had on Ankara. And I never seen him with Ankara on after that. But when he was on with that goddamn Nature Boy, I would have took that fucking money. I wouldn't have acted like I was no goddamn too good for it when the fuck I just now tried to skip town on that. Okay, who else do we got on our list? Now, a lot of people don't know who Crystal Hill is because she stayed on here for every bit of, like, as soon as people tried to associate her name with negativity, she got up out of here. She just wanted to show, like, look, all low vibrational things and people act the same, do the same things, or just trying to show, that this it is what it is. And she wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm sure Fundy Fee still on here somewhere. I know Latonya Jones is on here somewhere. I don't know where she at. Um, Melanated High Priestess is still on here. She just got married. Melanated High Priestess had a baby on her own in the bathtub by herself, bro. Melanated High Priestess went home and just taught herself how to be a badass. Like I saw a video of her bringing a bug back to life, but then she just turned into a badass, like with the fucking 6 shooter, like shooting from behind her back, doing the thing where you stab between your fingers, doing the thing where you throw the ninja stars. Like Melanated High Priestess just took herself, like, upgrade, like she just upgraded her whole, she upgraded her whole everything. Shout out to her. Um, shout out to her. Like, I love her. Shout out to again, Danny Girl and Latanya Jones. I love them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to them. Latanya Jones really, 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 really spent a lot of her time, her life. Oh my God, Uncle Suge. I remember him. I remember Uncle Suge. Oh my God, yes, I remember Uncle Suge. Uncle Suge, he used to love Clyde. I remember that he was in love with her. Uncle Suge, the skinny guy with the dog with the different colors. Um, yeah, and it was Jazzy, and it was World News, and it was Lurker, and it was some. It was a. Who else was in that group of folk? Um, I don't want to forget nobody because I didn't see them really mention much of anybody. And then when I got phone calls, the phone calls was about, wow, nobody got mentioned. And I heard that S. Hutchinson and that the T was mentioned. And I remember the T being one of the people like towards after the thing had got all the way left, she would have like snippets of it, think different events. And she was the one that submitted her stuff to the, DA. So, of course, she would be mentioned. But as Hutchinson, that was a surprise. Again, she was not a person that was a part of our sector. I think that that is a super super surprise that nobody from our sector was mentioned. Okay, that's crazy that nobody from our sector was mentioned. How is it that this is the nature boy sector, but nobody from the nature boy sector was mentioned? It was just outliers and people who, what I'm saying, just was out there. It was nobody that actual like I remember Vic Damone having an actual conversation with him, asking him, why do you do that? Why do you feel that way? And I remember him walking away from the conversation saying, I know why he's like that. I'm like, why? He like, because he don't have this. And he showed me this big picture of his family. And he showed me this big picture of his family and how they moved from New Jersey to another town or something like that. And he was like, because he did not grow up with this, he does not have family. This is why he's so messed up. You know what I'm saying? And Vic tried to extend the olive branch. You know what I'm saying? He never took much of nothing seriously, so I never took much of nothing seriously either. Vic was the dude back in the day that you hit up for a bomb ass mixtape to do your little workout to. You know what I'm saying? After certain people got involved in our mix, a lot of things got very, very, very fucking toxic. You know what I'm saying? But Vic was always the dude that you would call for that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Latanya Jones, bro. From day one, Latanya Jones was screaming like, yo, I had a boyfriend that had got into this shit right here, and I do not like what's going on, and he needs to be stopped, and he needs to be going to jail. Latanya said that from day one. I mean, even if they don't bring her on there, they should at least mention her name because every goddamn video she made, and I don't care what nobody say about Latonya, bro. Latonya did numbers. Latonya whole fucking channel could get taken down in one day. Within 24 hours, she'll have another one jumping. It's just that she had so many fucking haters on here that they would come and fuck it up for her and then throw her off her fucking, throw her off her goddamn, her square and have her not focused on what she need to focus on. You feel me? Because a lot of people were very entertained by what she was doing. whether motherfucker liked it or not. But the motherfuckers that didn't like it didn't appreciate that they wasn't a part of it. So they'd rather destroy it than watch it grow. And that's what they did. They destroyed it. Shout out to Latanya, yo. Latanya withstood a lot of fucking evil shit. A lot of evil shit, yo. And that just need to be said. Motherfuckers be standing around now acting like they got goddamn halos on. Don't forget what you did to her, man. Me and Latonya went at it all the motherfucking time, but it was always a line I would never cross with her, bro. Always. Always. It was a line. It is a line. I never crossed with her. And we always got back up. And it's a crime motherfucking shame the things that certain people on this bitch did to her. And that's why your life is a fucking wreck now. You understand? Because we might not see it. You understand? But you better know the most high creator of heaven and earth see all. You understand? And karma is real. You understand? The laws of this universe is real. The laws that govern this universe is real. You understand? And you gonna get touched. Yo, always my sis, yo. Always sis, yo. I don't care what the fuck. Latonya was always, yo, I don't give a fuck. And the way motherfuckers try to carry it, yo, and front with her and play with her and woo 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 with her. You know what I'm saying? Make her lose this, make her lose that. I'm talking about getting involved in her real life. Motherfucker don't know what kind of karma that put on you. You understand? Do you know what you walk away with when you do that? Like, did you ask for forgiveness from that person and from God Almighty when you did this to this person, yo? I mean, doing real shit to people and think that when fucked up shit happen to you, it's so unfair. No, that's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. That's always what it's gonna be. Yo, before I get off here, I want to give a shout out to my good sis, Puerto Rican 360. I want to give a shout out to her for being my dog, for always standing at my right hand, always giving me good advice, always having my back, no matter what. I love you. Give a shout out to my cuz, the God. The God came, bruh. That's my cousin for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my cousin for real in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I can call him that. You know what I'm saying? I give a shout out to cuz, you know what I'm saying? For always enlightening me and giving me a better perspective to look at things from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those people who I'm very well read, you know, so it's very difficult to get into it with other people that are very well read. And yo, the God is very well studied and very well read. And it is always a pleasure to have conversations with him and his wife because they are, you know, enlightened individuals. I love them both. I'm about to get up off of here. It's getting late. I love y'all. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Real, yo, people don't need, yo, they don't even know, like, real life family. You know what I'm saying? Real life family. But that's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. If they lived anywhere named Spring near Spring Court, you know what I'm saying? If they lived anywhere, you know what I'm saying, near Ann, if they lived anywhere near Broadway, if they lived anywhere near the hood, you know what I'm saying, Caroline, you know, if they lived anywhere, you know what I'm saying, they would know, but they don't, so they don't. You did. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to both of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for coming, keeping me on my square, because you know I would have went off script and zapped out on some damn body I don't like. I love both of y'all. I'm about to go to bed. I love y'all. Peace. By the way, they will not let me play my damn theme song, bro. Like they out of hand with this shit. I'm gonna have to download it on something else. I don't know what I'm gonna download it on, but I am. I love y'all. Peace.